What is good, Finn Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and What's good, Finn Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. I appreciate each and every one of you coming out for this Friday night as we get ready, baby. It's time. Oh my God. Here we go. The Bills game is upon us. Honestly, I mean, I'm just I cannot wait for Sunday, Even if we take the L, which I don't think we are going to, I just want a competitive game. I just want a good football game. Unless we blow them out, I'll take that. I'll take that. But shout out to Griffin Gaming for the $2 super chat. He said, first time we've been 3-0 since 2018 if we win. Yes, it will. Man, listen, I just want the dub. But I want a good game. I'm not trying to sit here with all of you out here in YouTube land and live react to a game that's out of hand. And hey, we just lived the out of hand in the, by the third quarter and we came back and that's great. But there's only so many of those games my heart can take. Let me tell you that much. All right. So, man, I am, look at you, Griffin. Hey, listen, Griffin, I appreciate the confidence. He says, not if, we will, fins up. Man, hey, I'm down. Let's go get that dub, man. Guys, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. There's already 120 of you in the room. If you'd like to donate, obviously, paypal.me/Finside, and you can become a patron, patreon.com/Finside, the NFL. I had an update, and Patreon and YouTube member insider update just a couple of days ago, just a couple quick hits, news, and notes. Yeah, go check it out. And also, hey, if you want to become a member, just hit that join button right next to subscribe below. And listen, just subscribe, baby. We are just over 500 away from 10K, and at 10K, we doing a 3-winner giveaway. So we are just over 500 away from 10K. Let's get there. Let's get there. All right? Man, especially if we win this game. Let's celebrate it by getting some 10K. All right. I know a lot of people are talking about, hey, we're being doubted. And listen, we all knew this was going to happen. This is not new information. We knew until we show we can beat the Bills, no one's going to give us the dub. We got to go out there and literally take it. And, I know we're all still riding a little high off of what happened in Baltimore, but, it's literally what Tua said in the locker room when they were celebrating. He said, let's enjoy this, but we got the Bills, and then we got the Bengals on a short week. And the other thing that's coming up, too, is I guess the Dolphins may have to leave a little bit early to Cincinnati because y'all got a hurricane about to roll in next week. So it's at least going to be a tropical storm by next week. So, already you could be turning around and in Cincinnati even, hey, but that'll just get us to work that much quicker. Listen, the benchmark for this first 4 games is coming out of here 2-2. We've already accomplished that. Let's keep adding to it. Let's keep doing this thing. And, I'm going to be honest with you. It feels good to see us at the top of that AFC East division right now. It feels damn good. But it'll feel even better when we get this win. It'll feel even better when we get this win. Because that's what I want. Listen, this is a game, we talked about last week, about how Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson, they had that game circled. We talked about it all last week. Talked about the zero blitz, and you saw when we ran the zero blitz, they made us pay. Don't think this ain't the game that we haven't had circled just like that. And when you look at these injuries piling up, and we'll go over them here in a sec, there's a couple factors that are rolling into this game. One, in the Josh Allen, Sean McDermott era, this is the most confident we've been at as a team. This is the best compiled team on both sides of the football we've put together. And we've never rolled into a game with the Bills this susceptible. The injuries have depleted them. They are ripe for the picking. You know how people talk about Tua at some point was leaving too much of the bone? Well, let's talk about the other way. There's a lot of meat on that bone to feast on this week for both the offense and the defense. Specifically the offense. Now, we'll get into my matchup to watch later on, and I could have gone back to Jaelan Waddle and Tyreek Hill versus, their cornerback room like I did last week. But I truly believe that this game will be won in the same area on two sides of the ball. And we'll talk about that when I get to my matchup to watch. I truly believe that. So, this is the best position we've been to get this dub. And they got to come into our house. And why does that matter that they got to come to our house? Because we've won 7 straight games at home. Right now, that is our house, and no one's walking in there and beating us. And on the flip side, this is probably the team that has the best chance of snapping that streak right now. So, there's just a lot going on here. There's a lot of different layers to this. And I will say this too. If our defense gives us the effort they gave us last year in that second game in that first half, we're good. We will be good if that goes down. Because now we got an offense that can complement what they were doing. Because quite frankly, this is the key thing we've missed. And I've talked about it before, and I'll talk about it again tonight. If that run game is going to get going, this is the week we need to get going. At the end of the day, the best defense against Josh Allen is a good offense. Keep him off the field. Sustain drives. Even if you don't put points on the board, take minutes off the board. That New England game, listen. There were drives we didn't score, but we were still taking 4, 5, 6 minutes off the board. That matters. That adds up. Shout out again to the homie Griffin Gaming. Said, fun fact, the last time Miami started 4-0 was 1995, Don Shula's last season as a head coach, before Dolphins ownership forced him to retire. I mean, and look at what McDaniel's doing. Right? So, I believe if you look at what McDaniel's doing right now, right? He just became the second coach in Dolphins history to begin a season 2-0. The only other one was Jimmy Johnson in 1996. Brian Flores was 5-11 in his first year, and I get it that it was torn down. But let's go next year. He was 10-6 next year when he started putting his roster together. This guy's already a fifth of the way to those 10 wins. Now, Adam Gase was 10-6 and made the playoffs, I believe, his first year as a head coach. Don Shula went 10-4 in his rookie year as a head coach, and he made the playoffs as well. Dave Wanstead and Tony Sparano also went 11-5 in their rookie years. In their first years as Dolphins head coach, and they made the playoffs. So Don Shula, Dave Wanstead, Tony Sparano, and Adam Gase are the only first-year head coaches that we've made the playoffs with. Interesting stuff, man. McDaniel, I said it before, I feel like we got our guy. I really do. And I believe that. So, man, Can you believe it? Like, just a couple more sleeps. Just a couple more sleeps. And see, we already knew y'all were nervous. Don't think we didn't hear all of you Bills fans on Monday night with your little Tua slander while the panel was outside. Don't think we didn't hear it. You don't think Tua and the boys were sitting there wherever they were in their own houses, whatever. You don't think they weren't sitting there watching Monday Night Football and didn't hear that? Just keep giving us whiteboard material. Keep giving us whiteboard material. Y'all are the ones worried about us. We ain't worried about you. The team and the fan base is confident we can whoop your ass. Y'all are looking around you, and I don't want to hear, listen, when we beat you, I don't want to hear, oh, we didn't have this guy, oh, we didn't have that guy. Listen, we got a UDFA in our secondary right now in Kadir Kahu. Don't want to say anything. If Needham plays, again, a guy who was a UDFA. All right? Taron Armstead. It looks like he's going to go, but he's battling a serious toe injury right now. I think it's a serious case of turf toe. X, he's got a groin issue. He's going to go. Listen, I don't want to, because, listen, those are excuses, right? Those are excuses. Because when Tua, whether injury or not, didn't have the O-line, whether injury or not, didn't have any weapons around him, and whether just pure incompetence, had a terrible coaching staff around him offensively, instead of being what they were, context, you Buffalo Bills fans tried to say those were excuses. Well, guess what? There ain't no Jesse Davis giving up the blind side now. There ain't no Jesse Davis coming, just olaying, Boogie or Russo or whoever you want to throw off the edge right through. No more ole. So, and guess what? Good luck keeping up with our speed. Good luck. Y'all think y'all got it made in the shade with Stephon Diggs? Man, I'm going to say this. Tyreek, twice the player Diggs is. Jaelan Waddle, year 2. He's already better than what Diggs was in year 2. A player and a half. He's a player and a half times what Diggs is. We got 3.5 times what you got with Diggs with just 2 players. And hey, I like James Cook coming out. I like Devin Singletary. I think they're good backs. Zach Moss, I like them coming out of Utah. Y'all ain't got Raheem Mostert. Stop. All right? And listen, Dawson Knox ain't no Mike Gesicki. Uh-oh. Tua's getting surrounded better than Josh Allen is. What's this going to look like next year? Let alone this year. When we get that run game clicking. And we're going to get it clicking against you. I just want to see him just whoop that ass. Just whoop that ass. Baby, throw a little baby powder on that thing. Just whoa, go to town. Go to town. 'Cause I'm tired, man. And you know what? This year, I said it since we hired McDaniel. I'm going to keep saying it after everything we do that's great. I said after Tyreek came here. I said after Armstead came here. I said it after we beat the Ravens. I said it during the preseason multiple times. This year just feels different, and that ain't good for you, Buffalo. That ain't good for you, Buffalo. This year is different. This Miami Dolphins team is different. It's better than any team you've seen, and it's better coached than any team you've seen in the McDermott era. And listen, if you look from week 1 to week 2, we started throwing those wrinkles out. Shout out to Zero, who just subscribed. We started throwing those wrinkles out. And you saw the success we had. Shout out to JB Poker War. You saw the success we had when we started throwing wrinkles in week 2. You think Mike McDaniel don't got wrinkles lined up for y'all? Oh, yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does. And y'all are about to be introduced to the unsung hero, the unsung superstar, Alec Ingold, Who wants some? Who won't test Alec Ingold? Who are you going to send to test Alec Ingold? He'll light you up like a Christmas tree on New Year's Eve, baby. Who are going to test Alec Ingold? You get smacked in the mouth. See, we got a team that can not only finesse you with our offense, with our vertical speed, with our quick hitting and shock and awe scoring ability. We can smash you in the mouth. We got blockers. Trent Sherfield is a fantastic. We got wide receivers that'll smash you in the mouth when they block. See, that's another thing we didn't have, right? You know, Austin Jackson, you know, one of my things of him coming out of USC was, you know, look like Tarzan, play like Jane. And none of that anymore on this team. We will punch you in the mouth. We will punch you in the mouth now. That's the thing. How do you want it? Hey? How do you want it? Let me know. Have it, because this is what I gotta say. All right. Burger King used to say, have it your way. We about to serve y'all. Have it your way. How do you want it? You want us to smash you in the mouth, or do you want us to make you run a track? Run track. The Ravens ran over 6,100 yards when it was all said and done. And they didn't do that in the Miami Heat. And you saw in the fourth quarter, they looked beat, depleted. How are you going to look in the second half when we get you running? Y'all don't even know what's coming. It's hilarious. These guys think we're the same team as last year. I watched these Bills fans on Twitter or whatever. They really think we're the same team as last year. They really ain't been keeping up. They really don't know what they're in for. They really think they're just going to walk in and it's going to be the same thing as last year. No. Nope. And you're going to see it firsthand. I wish, I really hope we come out of the gate. Listen, if we win this coin toss, do not defer. A. Get the ball, set the tone. I want to see the look on their faces when they got to deal with this speed, these Bills fans. Jumping through tables, they might be jumping out of windows by the time this game is done if things go our way. Never mind jumping out on tables. They're going to be jumping out of windows by the time we're done with them. I really don't think they understand what's coming down the pipeline. They think shit's sweet. Shit ain't sweet. Not anymore. Flores is gone. Shout out to Coke Master D for the $4.99 donation. They not about that Ingold life. Man, I don't think they know what's about to hit them. Sure, they've watched the tape. One thing to watch the tape, another thing to see it in front of you. Part of me saying, man, we're due for a low-scoring game here. But I think we're going to keep building off of what we've done in the first 2 weeks. I think we're going to score 30-plus again. Doom Gloom, Armstead's going to play. I think he's got a bad case of turf toe, and he's going to play through it. It's going to be one of those things where he does not practice during the week, and then come game time, he's a go. I think that's what you're dealing with. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Shit ain't sweet. All right, y'all about to see what's good. All right, y'all about to see what's really good. They do not have the defenders to keep up with their speed. They don't. And watch. They'll learn it real quick. When they see Tyreek rolling by untouched, and we're going to get into the injuries here. And with the injuries that are piling up for y'all in the secondary too, bad enough you didn't have Tre'Davious White. Now, you're losing one, Micah Hyde and Poyer is one of the best safety combos. And now, that's decimated by injuries. Y'all don't even know what's coming down that pipeline. Oh, this is going to be... If this man says... Bro, if you said Diggs is better than Tyreek Hill, you are going to get blocked. Because that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in the world. No one in their right mind who knows football will say Stephon Diggs is better. Tyreek Hill is the better athlete. Tyreek Hill is the better runner. Tyreek Hill is more explosive. Stop with the nonsense. Stop. And they have a very similar catch radius. Tyreek Hill is a ridiculous route runner. Ridiculous route runner. Look what he did to y'all last year. What did Tyreek Hill do to y'all last year? Gave y'all the work. The work. And it was no deep vertical stuff. This man was getting stuff over the intermediate level and turning it into taking it to the house. Y'all can't keep up with him. And you had all your starters last year. Y'all can't keep up with them. And y'all about to see what Jaelan Waddle really is. Shout out to Britton Watkins. He said, disabled vet from Bama, and I have fallen in love with your channel. So refreshing having some real football speak to keep me going every day. Fins up. Appreciate you, Britton. So, I mean, let's relax for a sec here. Anyways, let's get into it. We got a bunch to go over. Let's start off, and this is where it starts to get bad for the Bills. We don't even got to get to the injury report. This is where it starts to get bad. Let's get into the weather report. So, you see kickoff here, and already we had 87. We getting up to 88, and it's going to feel like 103 all game. Good luck. Good luck. Enjoy that one. This ain't Western New York, baby. 103, going to feel like 103. Good luck to you, my friends. Humidity is going to be at about 76, 75% throughout the whole game, too. And guess what? The Dolphins stay in the shade while the Bills stay in the heat all game. Now, there is some cloud cover, and it's going to get, higher by the end of the game, up to almost 51%. But, man, I ain't worried in the slightest. They are going to be gassed when we get this going. They are going to be gassed. Again, even the weather isn't our favorite. Everything's coming up Dolphins. So now we just got to put it together. And you best believe we're going to. So, listen. I can't wait let's keep him on the field and get him gassed. Keep him on the field and get him gassed. All right? So that's what it's looking like. That's your weather report for this Sunday. And obviously, like I said, next week, it's going to be something to monitor leading into Thursday night football. So keep that in mind. All right, guys? Now, let's keep it moving. The injury report. Oh, boy. Not a good situation for the Buffalo Bills. Now, Stephen Carter, Hunter Long, and Teron Armstead did not participate all week, but did you notice Teron Armstead is actually questionable compared to Stephen Carter and Hunter Long, who are out? Now, Mike McDaniel did not confirm or commit to Teron Armstead, but he's going to go. I'm going to tell you right now. Because of how big this game is, he will go. Raekwon Davis has been limited the last 2 days, as has Xavier Howard and Cedric Wilson. I expect them all to go. Now, the Bills. Micah Hyde, out. Dane Jackson, out. Ed Oliver, out. Jordan Phillips, out. Do you know how massive this is? Now, I expect Gabe Davis has said he's going to go all week. Dawson Knox will go. Mitch Morse, Jordan Poyer, Tim Settle. I expect all those guys to go. But losing Micah Hyde is massive. Massive. All right? And Jordan Phillips, Jordan Phillips and Ed Oliver, two of their two best interior guys, this screams we're going to be able to run the football against them. And again, this goes for us, the fan base, and this goes for the Bills as well. You know, Mike McDaniel, our coaching staff, and the players themselves have the best idea. But outside of them, no one understands how capable this offense is going to be if the run game gets going. So, with the run game getting going here, which I fully expect, I think Mozart's going to lead the backfield again. That run game gets going, look out. We are, listen, the Ravens had a 10-minute possession in the first quarter. We still outpossessed them by the end of the game by almost 10 minutes. That was without rushing for 110, 120 yards collectively. Didn't even break 100. I think this is on its way to being potentially our first 100-yard game of the season. I really believe that. You just look at the guys that are going to step in, and it's going to be, man, up the middle, up the gaps is going to be potentially exploited, Like Tim Settle's going to play, and he's good, but he's not Ed Oliver or Jordan Phillips. Daquan Jones will go. He's not Ed Oliver or Jordan Phillips. You know what I mean? So now the other thing with the run, though, is they have a pretty good second level at stopping the run. So another thing, too, is, and we'll get into it, the pass. Without Tre'Davious White, without Micah Hyde, they got to rely on Jaquan Johnson to step in for Micah Hyde. They also got Damar Hamlin. But then they got to, they basically have to rely on Kerry Elam, Christian Benford, and Ciaran Neal on the boundaries. Are you serious? Christian Benford and Kerry Elam. Again, Kerry Elam out of the Gators. I liked him coming out. But these are rookies. You're going to put them up against Waddle and Hill? And again, I could totally have gone these guys, Kerry Elam and Christian Benford and Ciaran Neal against Jaelan Waddle and Tyreek Hill, but I'm going to show you why I don't even think I need to go that far when we get to our matchups to watch. So they're just screaming to get exploited in the run game and in the pass game. And we have the offense to do it. That's the thing. We haven't had the offense to do this. Now we got the offense to exploit these type of weaknesses, and I fully expect us to. Fully expect us to. So that is your injury report. Now, let's look at how these two teams compare. And again, 2-week sample size, but so far, the offense of the Dolphins offense is the number 2 offense in the NFL, and they are the number 3 offense. The Dolphins are averaging 427 yards per game. The Bills are averaging about 413.5. The Dolphins right now are the number 1 passing offense in the NFL, averaging 351.5 yards per game, while the Bills are 4th, averaging about 302.5 per game. In terms of rushing offense, though, they are the 14th best rushing offense, are the Bills. They're averaging about 111 yards per game, whereas the Dolphins currently are only averaging 7.5 yards per game and are 28th. Again, we are the number 2 total offense. We are the number 1 passing offense, and we have a bottom running game right now. I once again ask you guys, imagine when the running game gets going, because you know it's going to happen. You know it's just a matter of time. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. In terms of scoring offense, right now we are fourth. We average about 31 points per game. They're first. They average 36 points per game. Sacks allowed. We are tied for fourth with 13. They are tied for seventh with 3. We have not allowed 13 sacks, have we? No, there's no way we've allowed 13 sacks. That's got to be wrong. Third down offense. Right now, they are actually the number 1 third down offense in the NFL at 60.9. Hold on a sec. Let me look this up because that's bugging me. How many we've actually allowed. Give me a sec here. Yeah, we've only allowed 3 sacks right now. So, yeah. That is, I think it meant to be a 3. I don't know. Anyways, continuing on. Total defense, the Dolphins, they're allowing 372 yards per game, which is 15th. The Bills are only allowing 215, which is second best. Passing defense, they're only allowing 149 yards. Now, again, Stafford looked like absolute trash in week 1. Tannehill, that guy's peaked. You know, they haven't really seen an offense like this yet. So, the Dolphins, though, they're allowing 255.5 yards per game, which is 23rd. Now, rushing defense. We are 17th best in the NFL at allowing about 116 and a half yards. Shout out to Victoria for subscribing. They allow only 66 yards. Well, I mean, you look at, we're only averaging 75 and a half. Not that far off. Scoring, but also now they've got these injuries piling up. So these numbers are going to even out with these injuries. Scoring defense, they only are allowing about 8.5 points per game. Again, look at the inept offenses they faced early on. We're allowing about 22.5, which is 18th. Sacks, they have got 9. We have only got 2. They've gotten the second most sacks, which is crazy because they don't blitz. Like, when you look at the fact that they've got the most sacks, you know, in the league right now, the second most sacks in the league, but they got the fewest blitzes. So, you know, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how that works out. Third down defense. Now, we know how good our third down offense is, and their third down offense is good as well. But their third down defense looks exploitable as well already. So, you know, they're allowing conversions on about 40%. We're allowing 36.8%. We're actually a better third down offense than them. But remember, as an offense, we're clicking at about 52%. They're clicking at 60.9%. Takeaways, they have 7, which is tied for first. We have 3, tied for 10. And then giveaways as an offense, we have 2, which is 10th, and they have 4, which is 22nd. So they do turn the ball over, right? So that is something to keep in the back of your head, that they are susceptible as well to turning the ball over. So that tells us in 2 games, we've got 4 turnovers. There is at least probably going to be 1 on Sunday. To be honest with you, I expect them to roll in cocky, and I expect them to make mistakes against us. I really do. I just really do. You know, I just, that's how I see this working out. Anyways, continuing on. Let's get into the offensive and we're going to get into the offensive and defensive keys in a sec here. You know, another thing I wanted to let you guys know too is, and something to keep in mind is, you know, we're going to be seeing a lot of zone. They ran 84% of their coverage in week 1 was zone. 89% was zone coverage in week 2. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of zone coverage. A lot of zone coverage is what we can expect. And you know what? That works out for our favor. And they're not going to run a lot of man, obviously, because of the young kids are going to throw out there. So, again, kind of exploitable. Kind of exploitable when you look at it, right? So, got to take advantage. Got to take advantage. There's going to be opportunities that we are going to have to take advantage of. So let's get into the offensive and defensive keys to victory for the Miami Dolphins. Starting off on offense. All right, guys. Protect the football at all costs and don't give extra drives to Buffalo. The last thing you want to do is give Josh Allen more chances to add points, or if you're stuffing them early, to get it going and the offense on track. Do not give them, it's already going to be hard enough beating them with all the opportunities the flow of the game's going to give them. Don't give them extra opportunities with boneheaded plays. Listen, I just talked about it. Expose their weakened secondary. They're going to be running a lot of zone. They ran 89% zone last week, 84% the week before. They love zone. All right? Tua shreds against zone. And another thing we could potentially see with, you know, they might run a lot of cover 2 and 2 high shells to try and minimize the type of speed we have, right? And that's going to go into our third key here. You got to win in the trenches and keep their offense off the field with the run game. You got to get the run game going. They're depleted. The injuries are stacked up. And if they're going to have a lot of 2 high shells being thrown your way, that's going to give you the opportunity to run underneath. So you're going to have to run underneath of them. Get the yards. Get the yards. They're going to be there. So, you know, all these flow into each other. Protect the football and don't give extra drives to Buffalo. Expose their weakened secondary and win in the trenches and keep the offense off the field with the run game. All right, that's see, the reason why I put in keep their offense off the field with the run game, the best defense against Josh Allen is a good offense. Get them cold, sitting on the sidelines, wear out their defense so you can keep going back, and we can keep giving breaks to our boys. All right? So, I mean, absolutely huge and imperative that we win in the trenches. And really, as you're going to see, I think we need to win in the trenches on both sides. All right? So, let's get into the defensive keys. My defensive keys are keep Josh Allen in front of you and limit his improvisation. Now, it's kind of what they did with Lamar Jackson. You're going to have to level rush him. You're going to have to keep the body in front of you so he won't kill you with his legs. I mean, the guy's had a game over 50 yards rushing already this season, you know, and he was their top rusher. I believe that was week 1, right? So keep him in front of you. You know, yeah, you don't want him to beat you with his athleticism, improvise, catch you out of position, and turn it into something that hurts you. So keep Josh Allen in front of you and limit his improvisation. That's imperative, you know. So another thing here is eliminate or minimize explosive plays. Stephon Diggs is going to get his. That's literally going to happen. Stephon Diggs is going to get his. Just make sure you don't get his after the catch. Just sure he don't get his on a big explosive run. He's going to get his. You got to limit Gabe Davis. You got to limit Isaiah McKenzie because they got some other fast weapons there too. So just eliminate or minimize explosive plays. Make them earn every point and fight for every point. And then number 3, their running back room is weak. Don't let it become a strength this game. Again, I know Zach Moss was their best running back last week. And then the week before that, I believe it was Josh Allen was their top guy. Here's the thing. Don't be the team that they get going on the ground against. James Cook had 53 yards last week. Singletary had 19, and Zach Moss had 17. Don't be the team where they get one of these guys puts up, triple digits on you with 100 or more. I mean, you look at week 1, they really didn't have a running game against the Rams. Josh Allen was their running game, 56 yards. Other than that, Singletary had 48 yards, Zach Moss had 15, and Cook had 2. So it's 65 yards from the running back room, but they had 56 from Josh Allen. Limit the run. Don't give Josh Allen more help. Letting the running game get going against you is just another layer to their offense that gives him help. Don't give him more help. That's it. Don't give him more help. All right? So those are my offensive and defensive keys to victory for the Miami Dolphins. My keys have been pretty much spot on the last 2 weeks. And now, just got to keep it going, man. Just got to keep it going. So, man, it's going to be a big test for the offense because there's going to be plays to be made. It's going to be a big test for the defense because it's Josh Allen. Get it done. All right? Now, continuing on, my matchup to watch for this game. Quite simply, it's the offensive line against the Bills' front 7. Now, I put Von Miller, Matt Milano, Tremaine Edmonds, and Greg Russo over there. I originally had Ed Oliver and Jordan Phillips on there, but they're obviously out. We got to win in the trenches on both sides of the football to win this game. Period. Von Miller looks rejuvenated. He's in beast mode. Greg Russo is off to a better start than he was last year. I know Armstead's battling a toe injury. Eichenberg, you need to be better than what you've been. All right? We need our offensive line to build off of what they were last week. They had a great game in pass pro. Repeat that. Get better. Get better in the run sets. We need to win in the trenches to win this game. Period. If we win in the trenches, Tua will have no problem finding the exposed one-on-one matchups in the Bills secondary. Mark my words. If they're in 2 high shells and we're winning in the trenches because they're trying to stop our speed and you're winning in the trenches, we will run the football down their throat. Win in the trenches. This needs to be the best game of the... And listen, they had a great performance last week. They need to be better this week. Because even with Phillips out, even with Oliver out, Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds are beasts on the second level. Von Miller and Greg Russo will create problems. Win. Win. Win in the trenches. You win this game. I'm telling you right now, you win in the trenches on both sides of the football. You win this game. Hands down. We might even blow them out. Because, and I'd say win in the trenches for the defense as well, because we're going to see a lot of 4-man rushes. We're not going to be sending We're not going to be sending the house in a lot of blitzes against Josh Allen. You're going to level rush him, and you're going to want to keep him in front of him. We're going to have to win off 4, 3, and 5-man rushes, period. I don't know what else to tell you. You're just going to have to. You're going to have to win. All right? So, man, I'm just... Big game. Big pressure, big game. On both sides of the football. And this is where we need to see how crazy how much better we've gotten in the trenches. All right? This is where we need to see. And we've only got 3 sacks against the Bills in the past 4 games. Van Ginkel has 2 of them. I said it earlier this week. I'll say it again. We need to rotate Ingram out more. We need some more Trey Flowers in there. We need some more AVG in there. We need it. All right? So, all that said, let's get into it. Let's get into more news and info. Let's get some news and notes for you guys. Let's start off with Barry Jackson and his pack of notes that came out tonight. Before we get into the game, get y'all caught up. So, the Dolphins again will enter the weekend unsure if the top offensive lineman will be available. Left tackle Taron Armstead did not participate all week and is questionable for Sunday's game against Buffalo. Coach Mike McDaniel isn't sure if he's played and said it's up in the air. I think he'll play. I think you're going to see this a lot this year. Armstead's going to be a gamer. They'll go on Sunday. They'll vet rest him all week. Xavier Howard, Raekwon Davis, and Cedric Wilson were limited Friday and are also listed as questionable. Howard said Thursday he's feeling fine. Wilson Jr. ditched the red non-contact jersey Friday and said Friday he believes he will play Sunday, noting the rib pain is not that bad. Hunter Long and Ethan Carter are out, and we already know what the Bills are without Micah Hyde, starting cornerback Dane Jackson, as well as Tre'Davious White, Ed Oliver, and Jordan Phillips. Now, I do think the guys who are questionable for them are going to go. Now, the Dolphins have lost 7 in a row to Buffalo, but that was pre-Tyreek Hill. Hill, as a member of the Chiefs, won 3 of 5 games against Buffalo, including 2 playoff games. His message to Dolphin teammates this week, I don't say they fear the Bills. Probably a little bit more respect. For me, any message to them is it's just another football game. Do what we've been doing our whole life, and let's be fast. You see this offense is electric, and one thing NFL defenses fear is speed. Hill said he thought the game might be flexed to national TV, but there's no flex element this early in the offseason. It's going to be a crazy game. 2-2-0 teams, division game, he said it's going to be crazy. Atmosphere is going to be crazy. Attitude, energy, all over the field. The best is supposed to want to play the best. You shouldn't run from no challenge. I know this team is looking forward to it. With both of the Bills starting cornerbacks, Tre'Davious White and Dane Jackson out with injuries, they're expected to start 2 rookies, Kerry Elam and Christian Benford. The way they're going to defend me, I want them to guard me one-on-one preferably. The absence of White slowed them down, but Bills coach Sean McDermott has a mentality of next man up, next cornerback. So those guys are filling in well. I don't think they're missing a step at all. Both of those guys are young, extremely talented, future superstars. I watched Kerr, big corner, come from Florida. Asked if the Bills are the best team in the league, Hill said, if you get on Twitter, everyone is going to crown this person or that person. Buffalo obviously is a great, well-coached team with some great players on both sides of the ball. The addition of Von Miller really put them on another level. Hill said he and Jaelan Waddle, who are first and third in the league in receiving yards, want to do special things for this offense, but the bigger reason we play is to win. We will do everything we can to continue to do what we've been doing. I know a lot of people are giving us a lot of praise, but our main goal is to win the game at the end of the week. Receivers coach Wes Welker has enjoyed coaching that pair. To have 2 guys like that, with that kind of talent and that kind of speed, just puts so much stress on a defense, Welker said. Their speed, it's really changed my perspective on the receiver position. Not only do they have the speed, they're dogs. They're tough. It's very rare to find guys that are that fast, that explosive, but aren't track guys. Now, McDaniel likes what he's seen in Brandon Shell so far, who was signed to the practice squad on Monday. Shell has started 61 games for the Seahawks and Jets, mostly at right tackle. He has experience, also a fit for what we're trying to do, McDaniel said. Really like the person, has a lot of pass protection value and run game value. We're excited about developing him in the system. He can do some good things already. You can tell he's the right type of guy and is passionate about being part of it. Whenever he's deemed ready, he could be a sensible fourth tackle option. Number 3 tackle Greg Little played well against Baltimore. Beyond Armstead's injury, right tackle Austin Jackson is out for at least 3 more games with an ankle injury. Dolphins defender who have been here for several seasons appreciate being on a team that's now able to win high-scoring games. It's definitely kind of cool, Jerome Baker said. It helps as a defensive player sometimes when your defense isn't clicking that your offense can put up numbers. It's different. I appreciate it. As a defensive player, I don't want to be in shootouts. I want to be in blowouts. Playing in it takes a toll on you on the defensive side. As long as you've come out with a win, I'm with it. Eric Rose said, to have the offense have your back when you're struggling defensively, it feels good. It's almost like motivation. The offense is putting in the work, and we've got to pick our stuff up and got to go. You got to score points. If they can't score points, it's demoralizing. And remember, I brought this up this week that how do you think that defense feels knowing that now they have an offense they can depend on? You know what I mean? It was clearly evident that they got up in that fourth quarter. The pocket started collapsing. You could tell they got some juice under them because our offense showed them more than they had showed them recently. So, huge stuff. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling against the Bills, man. All right? Continuing on. Article here I wanted to go over. I think it's very interesting. So, your brain is designed to distrust Tua. Let a neurospecialist teach you why. There's a trend on social media you may have noticed recently. Inversed videos of Tua Tagovailoa throwing as a righty. Predictably below, the tweets are countless of replies acknowledging how much cleaner and better he looks as a righty. Even Tagovailoa's trainer replied, someone explain this phenomena. My name is Dr. Martinez. I work with brains and neurobiology all day, including ex-NFL and MLB players, and I'm here to explain that phenomenon. Here we go. Your brain is one of the most complex structures in the world, yet in all of its complexities, it adamantly dislikes change, distrusts novel and atypical imaging, and makes you initially apprehensive of elements you're not accustomed to. These responses are well researched and show to not solely be beneficial, but also needed for survival, i.e. dislike risky new adventures that may lead to harm, distrust that snake you've never seen but it's getting closer, feel apprehensive when in a new and unknown place. Good, that can all be beneficial. That is beneficial unless you're one of the 30 left-handed quarterbacks in the NFL since 1950. Similar to Tua Tagovailoa, you'd then yield dislike, distrust, and apprehension. You'd likely have to be a Hall of Famer to even be remembered. Here's the neurology behind this. When your eyes see Tagovailoa begin to execute a pass, they reflect this atypical stimuli to your occipital lobe, which then scans your temporal lobe for other examples of a lefty throwing a football but comes up empty when it doesn't find enough data points to confirm the normalcy of what you're viewing. It yells frantically to your frontal lobe and amygdala, I guess. Something is wrong. This isn't usual. We're not accustomed to this. I don't like this. This all happens in a split second. To your brain, which is vehemently designed to be apprehensive of change, Tua Tagovailoa's throwing motion may as well be that venomous snake coming directly at you. Sound too simple or possibly too extreme? Go to your kitchen and rearrange the forks, knives, and spoons into different rows. Sleep on the opposite side of your bed tonight. Go look at an image of an iconic logo with something just slightly off. Sit on the opposite side of the couch and watch a movie. Tomorrow morning, make sure you shift your morning routine drastically. Do any of these things and notice your brain gives you a subtle yet real level of discomfort. These same mechanisms occur when Tagovailoa and other lefty quarterbacks every time they drop back and release the football. For context, the exclusivity of seeing a lefty QB is far more than you imagine. Aside from only having 30 in the NFL since 1950, consider the constant visual reinforcement you get from righty quarterbacks. Let's say you watch college football and NFL highlights for each game this upcoming weekend. you will see approximately 150 right-handed quarterbacks to 5 lefties. Now expand that ratio across years of watching football. The chasm between the two mental images will eventually be in the hundreds of thousands. Worse, the lack of exposure to lefty quarterbacks not only yields to an old feeling, but more specifically distrust. And then it has this little article. Even though the subjects were not consciously aware that strangers resembled those they previously encountered, subjects consistently preferred to play with strangers who resembled the original player that they previously learned was trustworthy, and avoided playing with strangers resembling the earlier untrustworthy player. Moreover, these decisions to trust or distrust strangers uncovered an interesting and sophisticated gradient. Trust steadily increased the more the stranger looked like the trustworthy partner from the previous experiment, and steadily decreased the more the stranger looked like the untrustworthy one. This distrust is why fans discuss Tagovailoa having a long and slow release, despite him objectively having one of the fastest releases in NFL history. It's why his deep throws look slower despite it being well within normal limits for an NFL QB, and why you'll see so many comments regarding his mechanics looking broken, when really it's your implicit reaction to a novel stimuli that makes you think this. Require even further support? Here's a thread with NFL quarterbacks as lefties. Take a look and let me know how you feel. Tell me whether their mechanics look a bit different from the left side. At the end of the day, your brain is a beautifully complex yet lazy organism. It prefers the view of the type of quarterback you're accustomed to, the safe, visually and aesthetically pleasing righty rather than the atypical, novel, odd lefty. But that's an issue for our brains to adapt to, not for Tua Tagovailoa. I just thought that was a real interesting, article playing in on what the effects of watching something your brain's not used to in a sports setting can do to you. I found it very, very interesting, man. And then, guys, just so you know, guess what? According to Next Gen Stats, ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful thing. Look at the top 10 passes by the Next Gen Stats passer score through the first 2 weeks. Tua Tagovailoa is currently number 7. Number 7. Absolutely love it. All right? 7th best quarterback in the NFL according to Next Gen Stats right now. I'm getting that. Hey, I expected top 12, and I'm getting it. You ain't going to hear a complaint from me. And then finally, because I know a lot of you have been asking about, Jaelan Phillips, I wanted to show you this. So ESPN's pass rush win rate and the double team rate. Look at Jaelan Phillips, guys. Jaelan Phillips is actually winning his matchups. Look at him. He's right in the middle here. Right in the middle right there. Jaelan Phillips is winning his matchups. So he is getting double teamed quite a bit. But he's winning his matchups right now. It's going to come, guys. Remember last year, he started off slow, and then it clicked, and it was all steam ahead. All right? So it's going to come. And just like last year, it may come in bunches for him. But I know we all want him to get better. I know the staff wants him to get better. But visual evidence that right now he's winning his pass rush win rate. Look at that. There's only 5 guys with higher pass rush win rates than him. Trey Hendrickson, Shaquille Barrett, Jadeveon Clowney, Josh Sweat, Von Miller, and Myles Garrett have higher pass rush win rates. Right now, Jaelan Phillips has the 6th highest pass rush win rate in the NFL. Him and Bradley Chubb are tied. So it's going to come. But you have to also remember, right? If you go back, guys, to 2020, a player me and EM Dolphin fan didn't want in that class was Chase Young. And the reason we didn't want him was because he had to be drafted so high, and you'd be inserting him right away, and he didn't fully meet the responsibilities we needed him to do. Like, the reason why Phillips was on a smaller snap count last year was because he wasn't ready for the coverage responsibilities and all the extra stuff that this scheme asks of its defenders. He just wasn't there yet. Now they're asking him to do more of that and put more of those responsibilities on his plate. Thus, you haven't seen him get into the quarterback. But it'll come. It'll come. It'll get going for Jaelan Phillips. The visual evidence is there. He's winning. He's the 6th highest pass rush win rate in the NFL right now. It'll come. It'll come. And the thing is, think of it. Other than Mac, Lamar and Josh Allen, these are two of the worst quarterbacks to face to try and get sacks and bunch up the numbers. I expect him to get them in Cincinnati with the way Joe Burrow can't read a hot read to save his life. You know the sacks are coming in Cincinnati. Just be patient, people. They are coming. All right? They be patient. They're coming. They're coming against Cincinnati. Ogba needs to be better too. You know what I mean? Let's call a spade here for a sec. Ogba needs, that man got paid. He needs to be better. Facts. I mean, I don't know what else to say. As usual, guys, please do me the favor. Go check out FinsideTheNFL.com. Please go check it out. Go show some love to FinsideTheNFL.com. Go check out what we got up there. The merch is off the hook. Go get ready for this weekend, man. Go get your Samoan Sniper t-shirt, your two-a-time hat, whatever the case may be. We just added this new one. Check this out. Y'all will like this one. Hawaiian Punch, man. We giving y'all that Hawaiian Punch from Tua. So go get your Hawaiian Punch shirt. It's out there now. We got a lot of good stuff on this. You got the two-a-time stuff. And, of course, you already know what time it is. We got it in the hoodie format. We got it in t-shirt format. Samoan Sniper. Go check it out. FinsideTheNFL.com/merch. /shop. Go check it out. Smash that like button. 410 of you in here. Subscribe if you're new. I appreciate each and every one of you. My prediction, easy. I'm taking it. Dolphins 34. Bills 31. Let's get it, baby. I believe. That's my prediction. 34-31 Dolphins. Listen, guys, I will see you on Sunday. We'll be live at 12:45. You already know what time it is, man. Let's go get it. Let's go get this dub on Sunday, baby. All right? I will see all of y'all on Sunday. As always, fins up all day, every day, even beyond the grave in which we'll lay. I will see all of y'all on Sunday. Appreciate all y'all spending some of your Friday night with me. Fins up, baby. Let's go get it.